Shall we rise for the national anthem, please? The national anthem, please. And on that note, I would like to welcome every single one of us to this very auspicious and august occasion, which marks the graduation ceremony of the AIG Public Leaders 2024 program. And this is a significant milestone, marking the end of an enriching journey for 68 exceptional graduates. Can we clap for them, please? Thank you very much. Today we celebrate their dedication, resilience, and commitment to advancing public service excellence. The AIG Public Leaders Programme, an initiative of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation, is delivered in partnership with the Blavatnik School of Government, University of Oxford, and is Africa's leading capacity building initiative, specifically tailored for public servants. Through this program, participants gain the knowledge, skills, and insights needed to lead with integrity, effectiveness, and a commitment to driving impactful reforms in public administration. As we recognize the achievements of this year's graduates, we also look forward ahead to the lasting contributions that they will make in their various organizations and indeed improve governance, uplift the life of citizens through innovative and transformative leadership. Therefore, I want to say congratulations to the 2024. I'll let this cat out of the bag. I hear that there's an F in front of their name. They're the fourth cohort, and they are the, what? The formidable, is that correct? They say they are the formidable four. Okay. This journey does not end here. It is the beginning of a lifelong mission to lead, inspire, and make a meaningful
Nigeria, permanent secretaries, chief executives, state heads of service, diplomatic community, all here of government at the University of Oxford, that is better led, better served, and better governed. In this program, we bring the best of what the Blavatnik School has to offer. We select for your leadership potential and for your commitment to public service. It's my first time teaching on this program. When I was invited to direct it this year, program changed my life. I'm an academic. I'm no more. She explained that she'd been a doctor. They really wanted, that's her words. They really wanted, that's her words, that she could bring about real change. Real change. And she proved it to herself. She proved to herself through this program her capacity to deliver change. And I'm going to come back to that in a little while. Deliver change. And I'm going to come back to that in a little while. From the conversations I've had with many of you over the last 3 days, a renewed sense of purpose. Your leadership skills are sharpened. You are poised to deliver real change. Indeed, you are already delivering change. This graduation is not the end. It is really the beginning. You are now lifelong members of the alumni of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation and of the Blavatnik School of Government. You are also part of that army of change makers, that army of the cohorts that has come before you and the cohorts which will join after you. And goodness, our world needs you. Over the past few weeks, we've been watching events play out in the United States. And for all of us working in government or working in government or supporting government, I think this moment is a moment to reflect deeply on what government's all about. And this is my read. My read of what's happening in the United States is that there's a breakdown of the social contract between the government and the citizens. And we have polling data that suggests this. The Alumni Trust Barometer polls citizens across 27 countries every year. In their latest report, which was published in January of this year, based on polling from last year, they found that only 41% of citizens in the United States trusted their government to do what was right by them. Citizens had lost faith. Many citizens have lost faith in their government. And that's what's fueling this desire for change. And the United States is not alone. That same data says that in my country, the United Kingdom, it's even worse. The level of trust in government is as low as only 37% of citizens. And here in Nigeria, similarly, the polling data suggests that only 44% of Nigerian citizens trust their government to do right by them. This is sobering for all of us. So members of Cohort 4, all 68 members of this formidable Cohort 4, you have work to do, and we're counting on you to do it. In the remaining minutes I have, I'd like to share a little bit with you about what we do on this program. We have 5 themes that run throughout the course. The first is integrity. Integrity in public life. For us at the Blavatnik School, integrity is the heart of everything we do. We teach it on every one of our degree programs, and we teach it on every one of our executive programs. Because integrity means doing things right, and doing things right by the citizens that we serve. It underpins that social contract between citizens and government. When the government institutions and when the people, the public officials are acting with integrity, then citizens can trust that their government is doing right by them. And as you know, public servants every day face very real moral dilemmas. Their integrity, their personal integrity, and the integrity of institutions that they're in is tested every single day. And as you rise through the ranks, Cohort 4, it's not going to get easier. Those tests will come and they will be hard. But we know that through this course, you've sharpened and you're much better able to exercise your moral judgment. We've equipped you with ways of thinking, of understanding the moral trade-offs and being able to hone your moral judgment by working through together some very tough real-world scenarios and situations. We trust that the skills that you've built here to coach each other and support each other, you will continue to use, and you will rely on each other as you rise through your journeys in public service. The second theme is harnessing technology. Digital technologies, as we know, offer enormous potential for our public institutions. They can dramatically improve the speed, the quality, and the fairness with which we deliver services to citizens. And this element of the program has equipped you with the ability to lead your teams and institutions to harness the promise of new technologies. And it's underscored the importance of combining technical skills with those people management skills. Realizing the potential of new technologies requires a deep shift in those systems, those processes, and those ways of working. And as we adopt new technologies, it is those technologies that are the interface between us and our citizens. And we know that we now need to design them with the citizen really in mind. The third theme is strengthening public organization. In this element of the course, we've drawn on the world-leading research and practice about how do you best manage a public bureaucracy. Participants have learned how to articulate and set institutional goals, to cultivate cultures of excellence, and a continual spirit of learning, to assess performance, and to implement reforms that really are owned and endure. We've learned that reform is not a project. It's a process, and it's a continual one, and it requires sustained investment. The fourth, and this is 4 out of 5, the fourth is negotiating in the public interest. Negotiations are integral to the daily lives of our public leaders. Whether you're negotiating a major procurement contract, negotiating with the Ministry of Finance about your department's budget, or indeed negotiating in the international arena on behalf of your country. In this element of the program, participants have honed their negotiating skills. They've learned new approaches and new ways through engaging in some really quite tough negotiation scenarios. And they've learned that even when there are very different interests and power dynamics at play, they have the skills to forge outcomes that are in the public interest. The fifth is governing in times of challenge and change. And we are living through a period of profound societal change, accelerated by digital technologies, deep shifts in geopolitics, as well as climate change. We've had many deep and thoughtful conversations with senior leaders from the public sector, and we're grateful to them for their time. Some of them are in the room with us today. You've shared very candidly your experiences with us, and I know I and everybody else who has been in the room, every member of this cohort has learned some really profound lessons and insights. We've also learned how to communicate better. Members of this cohort know the power of storytelling. They know that when they tell stories, those ideas that they're trying to communicate will stick. We know that, there's a good cognitive science behind that. And I can testify, you have some many brilliant storytellers in this community. We're looking forward to your stories of impact and change. Please practice that storytelling. People, the citizens of Nigeria need to know, and from other African countries need to know the brilliant work you are doing. So please continue to tell those stories. Connect with your citizens, connect with your colleagues. To test those skills, we ask all our participants to engage in the Capstone project, a project where they implement change, taking lessons and insights from the program and taking it back to their day jobs and trying to achieve something meaningful. And that brings me back to that doctor that I mentioned at the beginning, who decided from this program to stay in the public service. And part of that was because she learned through her Capstone project that she could achieve real change without resources, relying on what she had and the newfound passion and skills that she developed. In the institution that she led, that healthcare facility, she cut patient waiting times in half. Okay? That project has now been rolled out across her state. So just think about the tangible impact that one project had on many citizens' lives. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to assure you that we have 68 very brilliant projects in this cohort that are already touching lives. And I hope for members of this cohort, it is proof what you can do as individuals and as a collective, because you've supported each other in the design and the execution of those projects. And this is just a little bit of what you can deliver. And I hope it's really inspired you and shown you the potential that you have to deliver very meaningful change. We've glimpsed, especially the judging panel I know this morning has glimpsed, the profound transformational change that you are capable of. So this is really not the end of your journey. It is the start. And over the coming weeks and months and years ahead, we at the Blavatnik School of Government, and I know our colleagues at the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation share this aspiration, we ask that you as a cohort continue to support and coach each other and inspire each other, because that collectively is how you will deliver change. And finally, let me say this. As you move forward in your public service careers, keep those words public and service close to your hearts. Always remember that your duty is to your citizens and your country, and do right by them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Emily. Another round of applause for her, please. Now, I have a little bit of a confession to make. When I climbed the podium the first time, I was so starstruck, I skipped an essential part of my duties. So I'd like to ask the House to forgive me. But I was starstruck, so it's understandable. And it's because I saw no other person than our immediate past vice president in the person of Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who came in. So I know it's very forgivable, so but I would like to recognize the dignitaries, invited dignitaries who are here present in our midst. It's important that we do recognize you and acknowledge your presence. And of course, the first is no other person than His Excellency, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, GCON, the immediate past Vice President of the Federal Bureau of Nigeria. Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence, sir. We do appreciate. I also like to recognize the person of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation in the person of Mrs. Didi Esther Walson-Jack. Thank you so much. We do appreciate your presence, madam. We want to recognize the presence of the representative of the Senate President in the person of Senator Gershom Bassi. Thank you very much, sir. We also have a number of dignitaries that we're expecting, and we're going to be mentioning them as they do come in. But present with us, we have the representative of the governor of Delta State. Representative of the governor of Delta State, sir. Thank you very much for making it today. We also have the head of service of Ekiti State. I'm correct, right? Head of service Ekiti State. Now you have to forgive me. There's something we say in Ekiti. We say Ekiti Kete. All right. Thank you very much. You're most welcome, ma'am. And we also have members of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation Leadership Council. I see Professor Dere Awoshika here. Yes? Thank you very much. We'll recognize other members as they do come. So right now, as we proceed into the rest of the program, I'd like to call upon the person of no other than the chairman of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation in the person of Mr. Aig-Imoukhuede. A round of applause for him, please.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm holding pieces of paper here. You all know that I don't read it, but I guess it helps, particularly when the protocol list is in front of you in Abuja. You don't make mistakes. His Excellency, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, immediate past Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Walson-Jack, senators, ministers, senior officials of government, many of our permanent secretaries who are here, governors and heads of service around the Federation who are represented, members of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation Leadership Council, members of the faculty from the Blavatnik School of Government, Oxford University, my people of cohort 4, along with their family and friends, and all our distinguished guests, I would like to welcome you to what we term the closing ceremony of the Aig-Imoukhuede Public Leaders Programme. In this case, we are graduating our 4th cohort. You have heard the numbers, 68 in this cohort, so we are close to the 300 mark of public leaders and public servants who have undergone this program. I must add that whilst the program is clearly centered on the Nigerian public servant, we have members of the public service of other countries in this class, as it has been the case in other cohorts. I think now we probably have covered as many as 8 countries, and it is scaling up. Distinguished guests, and of course, PLP alumni and Blavatnik School alumni, it is a very, very, very special honor for me to stand before you this afternoon. Today marks the conclusion of several months of learning for not just our cohort 4 members, but even their faculty, led by Professor Emily Wood, and also members of our foundation. Why are we here? Why did you undergo 6 grueling months of study and application? Not merely for us to learn, but most importantly, for us to address this quest to build a stronger, much more powerful, much more impactful continent of Africa, and by implication, of course, country which we call Nigeria. I don't need to stress that Nigeria have immense potential. But we know we are yet to realize that potential. And so our challenge is not just about doing things better, doing things faster. Our challenge is actually about catching up. Catching up requires more than intelligent people. I believe that we are probably, as Nigerians, some of the most intelligent people in the world. Catching up requires people who are ready to do what they have never done before. Requires a state of mind that is probably very, very different from the natural state with which any citizen of any country operates. We will not catch up unless and until each of us says, I have the power within me to do something that will make a big impact on Nigeria's future. And that is what this program is all about. A program that tells a very, 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 very high potential public servant that within you is the power to solve this riddle: when will Nigeria reach its full potential? And we know that once one says, I have that power and I decide to use that power, what I term the power of me, when we have inspired you to recognize the power within you, then our next job is to connect you with the person beside you who recognizes they have that power as well. And that is the power of us. The power of us is the collective power of Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation alumni, Blavatnik School alumni, Lead P alumni,
all those many people who decide that we have the wherewithal to take Nigeria from where we are today to a much greater place. Our speaker today, at every graduation, we are fortunate to listen to an individual who has made an impact in public service just the same way as we expect you to. And this is an individual who excelled as a teacher, excelled as a legal practitioner, excelled as a public servant before going into electoral office. And if we see the track record of this individual, it is interesting to see how, with the power of me that he took to the judicial system of Lagos State, I witnessed, I saw it happen where courts that were decrepit became places that lawyers could operate in with pride. Judges came into their own as it was before. Justice was dispensed much faster and with much, much more transparency. And I can go on and on and on. But I will leave that for him when he speaks to you. He happens to be, of course, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. But this journey requires us to draw strength from one another. And in this room, I think I look around and I see so much strength that our foundation has drawn from those here. And without you, without your collective decisions, by your individual decisions, using the power of me, we will not be where we are today. Again, I speak to our leadership council, distinguished Africans and people actually who are of other continents, who, when people challenge them that, how is it that you people are going to, you are not government, many of you may have run governments, you may be former heads of state, former permanent secretaries, this and that, but you are not in government. How can you say that your mission and mandate is to transform the performance of the Nigerian public service? Isn't that stretching it? Particularly more so when we know that the public service faces a number of challenges. There were many who asked the question, how do you speak to the issue of sustainability? Where is your confidence from that even if you have a good start, you are not going to move forward one step and several steps backwards? Well, we've gone through one government, another government, different heads, different leaders, and so on. And the impact and the results are getting stronger and stronger. So that tells me what we all collectively answered them, that despite what we think, at the end of the day, all Nigerians, wherever they are from, no matter the tribe or creed, no matter their beliefs, wants a better country and will do what is necessary when the tools, when the networks, when the knowledge is present to get there. For most members of our audience, you were not here with us in the morning, because in the morning, we judge our capstone projects. What are capstone projects? Every single member of a cohort that graduates in this program is expected to think through one thing they can do it must start during their program, a project that will have a meaningful impact on the country they serve. So every graduate today has their project. And I must congratulate this particular cohort, because of any cohort that I have met, this is a class that seems to have the most number of projects that have been completed during their program. Now, let me tell you when we will know that Nigeria is getting it right. When you think back about the days when we said our nation was so great, the evidence of it was in the men and women who worked in government, who were superstars by virtue of their work in government. You know their names. You've heard about them because of the works of their brains, hearts, individually and collectively. Now, when our cohort members are publicly written about and commended by their leaders, Central Bank Governor commends one of our cohort members for their project. Permanent Secretary commends one of our cohort members for their project. Governor of this commends one of our cohort members for their projects. Importantly, citizens are commending our cohort members for their projects. Then you begin to understand that when we have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and they're working together and they're lifting themselves up. And take note, today, these cohort members, middle level, will be those who run things, and they will be demanding this of the people they run. Then you can begin to see the power of me, the power of us, the power of the Public Leaders Programme that the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation is running. That is our dream. That is our dream, and we need you. You, members of Cohort 4, just like those of Cohort 1, 2, 3, and the cohorts to come to deliver. I want to congratulate you this afternoon. I want to congratulate you for passing our rigorous entry process. I want to congratulate you for living true to the thing you signed off on when you said, okay, I must be in this program. I want to congratulate you for your projects. I want to commend you for everything you bring. And probably for me, my worry has always been, what happens when I come into one cohort and it's not as strong as the last cohort? How am I going to what's happening? I want to congratulate you. I don't know how they're going to take this, but I want to congratulate you for being the strongest cohort so far. To our alumni present, forgive me. But you are doing amazing things as well. We see your power. We see what you are doing. And as you welcome Cohort 4 into your midst, we expect that you welcome them, embrace them, and lift them up as you will lift up Cohort 5 and Cohort 20 and Cohort 100. To our partners from Blavatnik, if you've attended this program before, you will know that the dean of the program was a man. Chris left and Emily came in. I like to tease those that I work with that for some reason, I work with outstanding men who do outstanding things, and people say you can't do more. But then I also work with outstanding women who do more than the outstanding men. And so it seems, it seems that Chris's great track record, and he has so many fans in Nigeria and beyond, it seems that if you are not matching, you are exceeding. And welcome, Professor Emily. To the rest of the faculty, to our TAs, I want to congratulate you for a wonderful year. And of course, to the Executive Vice Chairman of the Foundation, Mrs. Aig-Imoukhuede, along with your team, who continue to make not just me, but I think all of us proud. Congratulations. Cohort 4, go forth and transform Nigeria. God bless.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Now, on this note, I think I need to let another cat out of the bag. You know, the person standing here on this microphone is a proud, very proud, very, very proud alumnus of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation Public Leaders Programme. And I mean, cohort 3 were the courageous cohort, you know. Chairman, I mean, those statements you made, you know, we had them last year too, so we believe you. We believe you 100%. All right. So, on that note, I'd like to still recognize some of our dignitaries who have come in to grace this occasion with their presence. We have with us the acting group CEO, Access Corporation. Am I correct? Yeah? A round of applause for him, please. Then we have representatives of the Oil Producers Trade Section, OPTS, Engineer Gweke Ajaifa. Yes? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. We also have the Head of Service, Nasarawa State. Head of Service, Nasarawa State. Madam, thank you so much. We do appreciate your being with us today. We will also recognize dignitaries as they do come in so that we can appreciate their presence. Now, on that note, I told you earlier that I was starstruck. I'm still very much starstruck. In fact, I'm wobbly at the knees right now. Because the person who's coming up, you know, there was a book launch recently, last week ago or so. At that book launch, I've not seen where someone can tell a sitting president about his past and how he was tormented by so and so, and that person claps for him. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, I've not seen that happen anywhere before. Now, this man has a gift with words, and I'm sure when he delivers the keynote today, we're all going to be, you know, as it were, blown away. So on that note, I'd like to welcome for the keynote address no other person than His Excellency, the immediate past Vice President of the Federal Government of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, GCON. A round of applause for him, please.
Thank you very much. Please sit. So the Master of Ceremonies has put me under so much pressure that I'm not sure what I should say now that would be impressive enough to match any of how he's described it. Let me begin by saluting the representative of the Senate President, Senator Gershom Bassi, the representatives of ministers present, the head of the civil service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Wilson-Jacks, the head of service, Ekiti State, Professor Emily Jones, and other faculty members of the AIG Public Leaders Programme and the Blavatnik School of Business of the Oxford University. The chair of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation, Mr. Aig-Imoukhuede, CFR, the executive vice chair of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation, Mrs. Ufowe Aig-Imoukhuede, the board of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation, the Aig Public Leaders class of 2024, the formidable fourth, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me express my sincere gratitude to the co-founders of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation. So let me express my sincere gratitude to the co-founders of the AIG Public Service Leaders Programme, the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation, who are also the co-sponsors of the AIG Public Leaders Programme. And I must say that the AIG Public Leaders Programme has become more than just a contribution to the development of Nigeria and Africa's public service. It has emerged as a game-changing initiative for building capacity within the civil service, both locally and across the continent. The Foundation's collaboration with the Blavatnik School of Government at the University of Oxford over the past 2 years has produced 4 cohorts, as we've heard, of exceptional public sector leaders. And these individuals have been equipped with world-class skills designed to tackle the complex and rapidly evolving challenges of governance today. And as you may have heard, I have also been privileged to accompany the AIG Public Service Leaders Programme on this journey, including delivering an address to the inaugural cohort of this program in March 2022. And I must say that I'm extremely proud of the very excellent work that has been done so far. For most of my own adult life, I have served as a public servant, whether as a law teacher at the University of Lagos or the Lagos State Universities, an advisor to the Federal Attorney General, at some point, a United Nations staff member, or a state attorney general, or later as vice president, and at some point even acting president. Throughout these experiences, I arrived at the very firm conclusion that the civil service holds the key to a nation's success. And I'll repeat that the civil service holds the key to every nation's success. And this is not because civil servants are inherently special, but because by the very design of modern society, government is the legal and accepted vehicle that exists to make life better for the people. The people entrust the government. And of course, when we say government, that includes the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature, and the public service that supports them with the authority to initiate and implement policies, to regulate economic and social activities, to maintain law and order, to deliver justice, and provide. In turn, public servants themselves have the privilege and responsibility to serve, ensuring that government functions efficiently and effectively. When public services are executed by well-trained, well-resourced, and motivated professionals, economies thrive, businesses grow, jobs are created, lives improve. But where the public service is weak, where it's disorganized or self-serving, progress is stalled, opportunities are lost, the economy suffers. I think that Nigeria offers many examples of how our civil service has driven national progress. And this is from the days of independence, even prior to independence. Consider the national development plans of the 1960s all the way up to the 1980s. These were written by public servants of that era. The supervision of the construction, for example, of 4 refineries. The last 3 were built within 10 years. 1978 to 1985, the last 3 of those refineries were built within 10 years, all supervised, the implementation done by public servants. Nearly 5,000 kilometers of pipelines. And all of this, sometimes you find when you repeat these things, it appears that it was not the same set of individuals, same set of people, public servants, who supervise all of these things. All are globally acclaimed responses to Ebola and COVID-19, all steered by dedicated public servants, our exceptional public health professionals. More recently, large-scale programs, such as the privatization of public assets, the school feeding program, serving 9.6 million children daily as of 2019, the digital management of the Empower program, recruiting and deploying workers across all local governments and paying them promptly. These are testaments to what an effective public service can achieve. The same public service, alongside the Bank of Industry, delivered the Government Enterprises and Empowerment Program called GEEP, the award-winning growth platform, which won both the World Bank Award as well as the AFDB Award for microcredit. That was the biggest, largest government-run microcredit scheme in Africa, using so-called human banks. And these human banks, of course, are mobile agents, human beings, equipped with technology that enable them to capture beneficiary data quickly and easily in the field and manage beneficiaries throughout their credit or financial services journey. But when public service delivery breaks down, the consequences ripple across the economy. I recall, as Attorney General of Lagos State, reading a report on the housing shortage in the city of Lagos. And one major cause that was identified was the slow resolution of landlord and tenant disputes in the magistrate courts, which discouraged investments in rental properties. Tenants would occupy homes without paying rent for years. Once they paid the 1 year or 2 years advance, thereafter, they would simply not pay anymore, while the cases dragged on in the courts. The result was that those who would have invested in low to middle level houses for rent invested instead in stocks, shares, and other things. But this particular story ended well because the solution was also designed by the public service. The Ministry of Justice, Lagos State then created citizens mediation centers. And these were trained mediators who were at first lawyers in the Ministry of Justice, who successfully concluded over 8,000 cases annually. These are landlord and tenant cases, compared to fewer than 2,000 in the magistrate courts. So clearly, when public systems fail, everyone suffers. But when the public service sees itself as a resource to solve problems, the possibilities for transformational change are limitless. Consider again the daily challenges that entrepreneurs face when trying to register companies, to secure certifications, or obtain necessary approvals. Every time there is a delay, or every time some public officer tells them to come back next week, instead of resolving the issues today, we're not just postponing one person's success and prosperity, we're postponing opportunities for many others whose livelihoods depend on that business succeeding. In short, when a public officer becomes an obstacle, they directly undermine national prosperity. And in today's volatile, uncertain, complex, and global environment, governments and the services that they provide must be agile, must be innovative, must be scalable, must be effective. In any event, effective policymaking must respond to the evolving realities. Innovation is no longer optional. It's a core function of governance. So regulatory frameworks must continuously respond to new developments in order to unlock the opportunities while protecting the public interest. An effective public service today must also see the private sector as crucial partners. The public service exists to facilitate enterprise and to support the private sector. And this fact is a fundament of a dynamic and productive relationship between the public and private sectors in our nations. In 2016, for instance, as young entrepreneurs in Nigeria sought to build digital payment platforms, outdated regulations recognized only the traditional banks. The Central Bank of Nigeria, however, responded creatively, establishing the Payment Service Provider License Framework. And this categorized licenses into 4 broad groups. They issued licenses for switching and processing. This is backbone infrastructure for payment processing companies. So companies like InterSwitch, like Unified Payment Services Limited, like eTransact, started to do business effectively. They issued mobile money operations licenses, the MNO licenses, for digital wallets and mobile payments. So companies like Paga and OPay and Kuda, the Kuda Microfinance Bank, and PalmPay, etc., were able to give birth to their businesses and grow their businesses effectively. Payment solution services covering the super license, which is agent network management for financial inclusion, like First Money agents, etc. They also created the regulatory sandbox licenses for innovators who are testing new products under CBN supervision. These rules, developed by public servants working with industry players, enabled a new generation of fintech companies, fostering a revolution that has produced 5 or 6 unicorns. And these are companies valued at over $1 billion today. Today, Nigeria is recognized as the leading fintech hub in Africa, attracting major global investments and partnerships, all because public servants work with industry to develop forward-thinking solutions. This spirit of innovation is precisely why the AIG Public Leaders Programme is so vital, because it empowers participants to imagine possibilities, to test bold ideas, and design practical solutions. And it instills the understanding that real change begins with imagination, followed by disciplined execution of ideas. I've been inspired reading some of the remarkable 68 projects emerging from this program. From a project on leveraging mobile technology to expand mental health services, to another developing AI-powered knowledge management tools, another one creating employee feedback platforms, and yet another digitizing government processes, and one even designing a framework to address workplace sexual harassment in a particular ministry. Each of these innovations began as a simple idea, but has the potential to profoundly transform public service. I think from here, you must see yourselves as inventors, not of values. You are public scientists, just as technology scientists engineer groundbreaking technologies. You are inventors of bold new systems and processes that transform how vital public goods and services can reach millions of people. Technology scientists create the products that power our daily lives. Public service scientists create the systems ensuring that health, safety, education, and opportunity reach every corner of society, not as a privilege, but as a promise. In any event, I'm convinced that the way you've been challenged in these past 6 months to solve real-life problems through leadership, creativity, and innovation, your approach to public service will never be the same. And this is the essence of transformative leadership, seeing problems.
Another round of applause for His Excellency. You know, he didn't disappoint, not at all. Term in my lexicon that just came out now is a career line that needs to be pursued. So tell the Ministry of Education, public sector scientists. So children coming into school should aspire to be public sector scientists. Thank you very much for that, sir. All right. We also have a number of dignitaries who joined us as the program was proceeding. I'd like to recognize them very quickly. I'd like to recognize Dr. Maurice Mberi. Dr. Maurice, sir, representing the Secretary of the Government of the Federation, SGF. You're most welcome, sir. Permanent Secretary within the Office of the Secretary of the Government of the Federation. And we also have Mr. Kenneth Aig-Imoukhuede, representing the DG NAFDAC. Mr. Kenneth Aig-Imoukhuede, representing DG NAFDAC. Thank you very much for gracing this occasion with your presence. Now we have gotten to that point of the event, or of the day, which has cost us all to gather together today, which is the award of certificates to all our graduates. All right. You're not excited about that. I thought we were all here. Okay. So I'm going to be inviting the the formidable four. I'm going to be calling your names in sets of 5, so that as I call your names, you process up and you come up, and then you receive your certificate, and then you take your picture. You know, you take the golden handshake. In fact, the platinum handshake, you know, with right here at the center. So you're going to process up this way to my right, your left, and then each person will, you know, the order in which you are in which you are. So you just follow that same order. Once the person processes, takes a picture, the next person will go. We don't want to take too much time. There are 68 of us, 66 on my list, you know. So we want to do it very quickly and very briskly. And to lead that part of the ceremony, I would like to invite up once again, accompanied by the Executive Vice Chair, the Chair, Mrs. Ofowe Aig-Imoukhuede and Mr. Aig-Imoukhuede. I would like to welcome them upstage, along with His Excellency, the immediate past Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, to give the very first set of awardees their. In addition, pardon me, you see, I'm really starstruck, so you really have to bear with me. We also would like to have the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. D.D. Esther Wilson-Jack, also in that very first list. So a round of applause. Can I have that, man?
So she will be here, and each of them.
So the chairman just made me realize, remember, or reminisce that all the awardees will have the head of service in their pictures. So, I mean, it doesn't get better than that, right? Okay, so. Okay, yes.
You can't remember how it was.
Can I have? Okay, so I'm going to be calling the names in this order. So just come, process out in this order. And once you come up this way, you'll be given your certificates, and then Emily will be there, and then you take your picture, and then you process out that way, all the way around back to your seat. So the first name, Mohammed Abdul Kader. All right, a round of applause, please. Hassan Abubakar, Chikamara Achugamoye, Ayodeji Ajayi. All right, yes. So Ayodeji Ajayi. Yes, just. No. She'll picture with them. Yes, right there. You want you'll be in the middle. It's your day. Yeah? Yeah. That's how it is. So this is the template we are following, right? All right, excellent. So next, Hassan Abubakar. Then Chikamara, no, once you're ready. Yeah? Chikamara, yes. Then Adano. Yes. So, please. Ayodeji Ajayi. Then the next 5, Juliana Akinola, Etom Akpama, Fatima Ali, Frank Apo, and Rachel Ayolawal. Yeah? Juliana Akinola, Etom Akpama, Fatima Ali, Frank Apo, and Rachel Ayolawal. In that order, please. Next. So the last person. All right, next. Fatima Ali, next. Yes. Then the next 5, Mohoret Bigon, Chika Chukwakelo, Jamila Dahiru, yes, Agbo Ebuta, Ewere Ehinze. Okay. Ewere. Okay, the next, I have Charles Enuma, Oluyemisi Fason, Falmata Gaji, Femi Gegele, then Kaltumi Giwa. So once we're done this, then I'm going to our dignitaries to take to give the award, to present the awards with them. At this point, my tax collecting collection comes in. I'll bill you guys. Wow. All right. Okay. So Kaltumi Giwa, are you the last? Yes. Okay. Next set, Ibrahim Idris, Aldrich Bennett Ilechukwu, Nenaya Kalu Ume. You come this way, please. Nenaya Kalu Ume, Mohammed Kawu. Okay. Next. So the next set of 5, Zainab Kyari, Abubakar Mohammed, Sarah Mohammed, Richard Michelia, and Hafsat Mustafa. Indeed, we have a formidable set here with us. Okay. So next set, Alexander Musho, yeah, Gloria Nasuna, Rekia Ndanusa, Chioma Nzewi, and Chioma Obi. It's a season of cheer, right? One is gossiping behind me about how chairmans do great things. Yeah? Then the next set we have Ekene Oru, Adora Oru, Oluseun Ogundijo, Olusegun Oguntui, and Tunde Ojo. Okay, great. We're making good time. The next set of 5, Ifeanyiwa Okafor. Ifeanyiwa Okafor. Don't worry, we'll induct you. Onye Okaro, Chiamaka Okonkwo, Michael Olarinde, and Kayode Oni. I'm sure family and friends are very proud of every one of our graduates today, right? Okay, so the next set, I have Bolaji Onilenla, Christian Onyili, Robert Oyegbula, Iriagbonse Osaibowo, and then Morufat Oshineye. Very quickly, please. Next set, we have Olayinka Oyegunle, Anolwa Priestley Adeshubomi, Mukhtar Sadiq, Abubakar Sanda, Adedunton Shegun Olasomi. Very quickly, please. All right. Okay. Next up, we have Oyindamola Sogunro, Timothy Soje, Omolola Sule, Omar Abdullahi, then Bello Omar. So, the last set of 6, not 5 now. Maimuna Omar, Akanimo Usoro, Capstone, right? Aleshima Usasha, Akudo Uzoma, Titilola Vaivo Adeni, then Eitayo Yusuf, in that order. All right, so I can see that I'm not the only starstruck person, right? You know, at this juncture, I was going to insert myself. I said, I've not earned the right, so let me just stay where I am. All right, but before we go, I would like to invite all our dignitaries to the stage to take a picture, so that, I mean, the Leadership Council members, all our ministers, please, we'd like to have you on the stage so that we can, you know, record this moment in time for posterity. Also, Mr. Capstone, where are you? Do I see you? Could you come here? You have the singular honor and privilege of taking a picture with the entire assembly of. So where are you? All right. You know, when this picture gets to the CBN governor, he will know that something is going on, right? No, not yet. Is it? Could you step back? Is it? Can we do a step back? Just a step back. All right, round of applause for Mr. Akanimo Usoro, Capstone. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for your patience and for your time. While we settle down, I'd like to ask that the president of the Alumni Association get ready. He's going to be up very shortly to kickstart the alumni induction and awards with a special address. While we settle down, I'd just like to ask the alumni, the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation Alumni Association to get ready. I see that some people forgot their name tag here. I'll help them pick it up. Oh, it's Capstone. Okay. Wow. Wow. Again, I'd like to congratulate the formidable four. You guys, congratulations. We are all looking for impact in the public sector. Now, we're moving on to the next segment of the event, and that's the Alumni Induction and Awards. And I'll be calling on the president of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation Alumni Association in the person of Mr. Idowu Bakare for his address. A round of applause for him, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to start with a little story. 1 minute. Just yesterday, I was in Lagos, invited by the UNDP to serve as a resource person at a capacity building program for members of staff of the National Assembly. And one of the papers I took was protocol and etiquette. It includes protocol recognition at events. And I took the paper very well, and I had a standing ovation. But here I am this afternoon. The same person who was teaching yesterday, I'm very, very much confused about how to recognize the eminent personalities right before me here. But I'll do my best, and I'll kindly ask for forgiveness if I err anywhere. Let me start. His Excellency, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, former Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Gershom Bassey, representing the President of the Senate, Mr. Aig-Imoukhuede, the Chairman, Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation, a man whom without my presence here will not be possible. Thank you. Mrs. Ofowe Aig-Imoukhuede, Executive Vice Chairman of the Foundation. Mrs. Didi Elster Wilson-Jack, the Head of the Civil Service of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And with profound respect, I extend my highest regards and consideration to all other dignitaries here who have been recognized. Thank you. It is with profound honor that I stand here today as we celebrate the remarkable achievements of the latest cohort of this very remarkable and transformative program. Today is not just the end of your program, it is the beginning of a new future for the entire cohort 4 members. And I believe strongly that given the quality of education you have received, that I have received, and that all other cohorts before you have received, there is no doubt that you will excel in your various places of work. Exactly 3 years ago, we were in this same position as you, as the inaugural cohort of this program. And just like you, we were excited, but also uncertain about what lay ahead. But we were sure of one thing. We had been equipped and energized with an education that will make us break barriers. And I know you will definitely break barriers. As you graduate to join us in the Alumni Association, we welcome you with open hands. You are stepping into a growing community of about 200 people who are making remarkable change, who are breaking barriers and confronting the status quo in our collective desire to develop and grow and sustain a public service we'll all be proud of. The association was launched just 1 year ago, and with the votes of my colleagues, I am the president. We have a membership of about 200, as I already said. We even have some from Ghana. The public relations officer for the foundation, for the alumni, is based in Ghana. He's not here with us today, but he's with us in our shared commitment to transform the public service. Throughout the year, we have programs to continue to sustain our commitment to the public service. We have upskilling programs, we have training programs, we have exchange programs. You will hear a lot more about that as the day proceeds. We also have amongst us top leaders in the public service. We have heads of agencies, we have permanent secretaries, we have directors in various departments. And we can assure you that you will find accommodation amongst us. We are governed by a 7-member governing council, headed by, I'm not sure she's here today, headed by Mrs. Aig-Imoukhuede, the Vice Chancellor of the Pan-Atlantic University in Lagos. We also have Mr. Akim Lawal, a former director in the ICPC, and Mrs. Chiaka Benobi, who is a director in the FIRS. Together with the executive that I lead, we help in shaping the Alumni Association. And who are these members of the executive? They're also right here with you. Apart from myself serving as the president, we also have Mr. Audu Olopo. He works with the National Bureau of Statistics, the people who give us those numbers. If you could please stand up for recognition, we are proud of you. We also have as our secretary, the very dynamic engineer, Uchechi Edosawan. She works with National Airspace Management Agency in Lagos. We have an assistant secretary, Akindamola Adeboye. He works in Lagos. He works with the National Biotechnologies Development Agency. We have Rashidat Umar, a staff of the Lagos State Public Service, serving as our treasurer. And we have a financial secretary, Mr. Juliet Obaje, who works in Kaduna. And last but not least, I already mentioned, we have Mr. Prosper Aig-Imoukhuede. He's based in Ghana. So that also shows you the Africa-centric nature of the AIG Public Leaders Programme. This structure helps us in maintaining oversight and making sure we do things the proper way. We really enjoy the guidance and the tutelage of the members of the governing council. However, I will be very, very negligent if I do not extend one more time profound gratitude to Aig-Imoukhuede for their unyielding commitment to sustaining this program and empowering public servants like you and myself to ensure that we continuously transform the public services across Africa. It is also very meaningful for me to reflect on the presence of the former Vice President amongst us today. Exactly 3 years ago when we graduated, he was the first person to receive us at the State House, then as Vice President. And his words to us on that day continues to serve us and move us to break barriers in the public service. I am sure his words today will do the same thing for you. Having said that, though, we are a little jealous, and here's why. When he addressed us, he was the Vice President of Nigeria. Today, he's addressing you, not just as Nigeria's former Vice President, but also as a global statesman. And I'm sure his words today even carry more and will also lead to all the things you are going to do. But the jealousy is not that much because I know he spoke to all of us at the same time. So on behalf of the Alumni Association, I extend my congratulations to you one more time and have you, and we look forward to working together to transform the public service. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Idowu Bakari. Her name sounds like one of the popular musicians back then. You know, do you like music, sir? Of course, he likes music. All right, we've talked a lot about the representation of foreign, non-Nigerian public servants on this program, and it's something we're all very proud of. You know, so I like just to use the opportunity to highlight those public servants who have been part of this program from other countries. I mean, so that you know, we're not just saying it because we're saying it. We're saying it because it's real. You know, and I'd like to recognize Zukiswa Mkolombo, the second cohort from South Africa. A round of applause for Zukiswa. There was also Caroline Kendago from Kenya in the courageous cohort 3. You know, shortly after the program, Caroline became a magistrate judge back home in Kenya. And I mean, she was so elated. It was beautiful. CC4, we have two of them. We have Frank Apple. Where's Frank? Frank is from Ghana. And then we also have Gloria Nasu from Uganda. The shout for Gloria was more. Is there something? Hello, everyone. All right, okay. Gloria, okay. All right, on that note, I'd like to welcome the person of the secretary to the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation Alumni Association, Mrs. Uchechi Edosoman, to take the oath-taking ceremony. We're not swearing for anybody, we're just oath-taking ceremony. Thank you.
Good afternoon. The immediate past president, vice president, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, GCON, Senate president, ably represented by the Senator Gesham Bassi, the head of civil service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Watson-Jack, the chairman and executive vice chair of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation. Please permit me to stand on all other existing protocols. I'm permitted, right? All right, thank you very much. And then we've come to a very important time. We've been looking forward to this moment where we would admit 6 amazing public servants into the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation Alumni Association. All right, so could you just rise? Thank you. I know you've been given the oath of induction of. So we're going to take it, but with your right hand on your chest is a promise. I'm not going to do this alone. You know, the beautiful thing, our chairman was talking about the us factor. We always do things together. So please, all the executives present here, as well as the reps of cohort 1, cohort 2, and cohort 3, there are people that were volunteered to stand in. Please just come forward and stand before them. Please quickly. Just in half a minute. All the executives present, just face them, let them be encouraged. Seeing your beautiful and handsome faces. Please, could we quickly come? Thank you very much. Now, while they come, I'm sure you would observe that there's a place that your name is supposed to come in. So when we start and you say I, let me not hear Uchechi Edoson, all right? Or your neighbor's name. No, you're going to put your own name because you're the one taking the oath. Yes, please come forward and just stand before them. So these are the representatives from cohort 1, cohort 2, and the executives. Right. Thank you very much. All right, so we're going to start. So once I read the header, you know, the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation Alumni Association, and then I read the oath of induction of members, then you start I, and then we go. Isinewane, please come forward. Thank you. All right, Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation Association, oath of induction of members. Can we start? 1, 2, 3, go. And I do solemnly pledge to. Thank you. Please, could we put our hands together for them as we give them our warm welcome? You know how we do it. So show them that they are welcome. All the reps and the executives, please give them a handshake, a hug, a smile, something, so that they know that the Alumni Association has eagerly been waiting for them. And we're saying, welcome on board. We are change agents, we're change enablers, and we're going to do amazing things in the civil service in Nigeria, in Africa. Thank you very much. Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. Congratulations. The formidable. You made it, you made it. I know the feeling, don't worry. I know the feeling. So very quickly, we have a number of awards to be presented today. For the very first time in the history of the Alumni Association, some awards were for certain people, right? And we voted the Capstone projects, and we voted for each of these Capstone projects in certain categories. Now, to present those awards, I would like to call on our very own the Director of Programs, Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation, Chairman Njoku. All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. All protocols duly observed. We've had some time to deliberate on the best capstone projects from the first 3 cohorts. And like you mentioned, the alumni have selected their best and most impactful projects by their own standards. I would call on the first award category, that is the Reformers Award, being received by Mr. Abraham Oludolapo. Please come forward. Yes. To present the award, I would like to kindly call on the head of service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wostenjak. Along with her, I'd also like to invite upstage the rep of the Senate President, Senator Gershom Bassi. Thank you very much, sir. And also Director Core Mobilization NYSC, Alhaji Abubakar Mohammed. If he's here, please come forward. Thank you very much. While the Senate rep goes back to his seat, Madam Head of Service, please stay. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. The next category is the Innovators Award, being received by our alumnus from NAFDAC, Mr. Akinyemi. If he's here, please come upstage. To join him, I'd like to invite upstage as well Dr. Maurice Imberi, the rep of the SGF. Thank you very much, sir. I'd also like to join them, Director FCT of NAFTA, Mr. Kenneth Aig-Imoukhuede. If you're around, please come off stage. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You may all please return to your seats. Thank you very much. The third award category is the Young Leaders Award, which is being presented to Zukiswa Nkolumba. She's absent, but her colleague, architect Juliet Obaje, is receiving on her behalf. To present it to her, I would like to kindly call up stage the chairman of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation, Mr. Aig-Imoukhuede, and the Executive Vice Chair, Mrs. Ofowe Aig-Imoukhuede. I would also like to invite to join them the Head of Service of the State, Dr. Folakemi Olomojobi. Please come up stage. Thank you. Thank you very much. While the chairman and EBC remain off stage, you can please go. The final award category is the Volunteers Award. This is especially interesting for the foundation because it is to someone who actively supports and amplifies the work of the foundation. And we have the honor of presenting this award to Ms. Engineer Uchechi Edosonwan. To join her upstage, if he's here, is the MD of Nigeria Airspace Management Agency, Engineer Farouk Umar. That's it. Thank you very much. You can all please proceed to your seats. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Choma, and all the awardees. Another round of applause for all our awardees. You can be sure that this is going to continue. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. Maybe we're going to have more awards. Who knows? What Chema didn't mention was the fact that the third award, that was the Reformer Award. No, the Young Leaders Award that was won by Zukiswa is from South Africa. So the awards are going beyond the shores of this country, right? All right. So next up, I'm going to be calling on one of our special dignitaries for our commendation remarks, and it is my pleasure and singular honor to receive up stage the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson-Jack, for her commendation remarks. A round of applause for our able, capable head of the Civil Service of the Federation. Madam, you are welcome. Thank you so much.
Your Excellency, awardees, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think I cut the protocol very short. So it is a pleasure to be here today. As I was coming for this event, I remember the very special time I had with the members of the cohort 4. I think that was sometime last year. we spent some quality time together. And I remember with nostalgia that at that time, I guess you wouldn't have known that we'll all be back here today. So I'm very happy and honored to be here at this remarkable occasion of the closing ceremony of the AIG Public Leaders Programme. This program represents a significant milestone in our collective effort to strengthen the public sector and build a core of competent, ethical, and forward-thinking leaders who will drive transformative change in their respective organizations and communities. I'd like to say that this program resonates very well with the Federal Civil Service, as we have our own leadership development and enhancement program, Lead P, which also seeks to build a cohort of leaders in the Federal Civil Service. Permit me here to sincerely appreciate the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation for their unwavering commitment to improving governance in Nigeria and across Africa. Through this program, you have provided public sector leaders with world-class leadership training, equipping them with the skills, knowledge, and mindset required to drive innovation and excellence in public administration. And I dare say this aligns perfectly with our vision of building a citizen-centric, efficient, productive, and incorruptible, as well as innovative workforce. Your work is invaluable, and I encourage you to do even more. So beyond the training received here, I'm particularly pleased to note that some of the alumni of this very prestigious program are already working with me in my office, contributing actively to various reform initiatives of the Federal Service Strategy and Implementation Plan. And I'd like to mention, so that we can all give her the accolade she deserves, the very dynamic Dr. Deborah Odo, Permanent Secretary, Service Policies and Strategies Office, whose dedication and expertise have been instrumental in advancing key public sector reforms. This is a testament to the AIG Public Leaders Programme's profound impact in shaping the future of the Nigerian public service. I turn now to the successful participants of today's great occasion and extend my heartfelt congratulations to you. You have been part of a world-class leadership development journey, and you now carry the responsibility of applying what you have learned. Your dedication, innovative ideas, and by the way, I dare say we will harvest some of these ideas to implement them in the Federal Civil Service, with the kind permission of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation. And so these ideas and the leadership qualities will play a pivotal role in improving service delivery, enhancing institutional performance, and driving the socioeconomic development of our nation. Comes a greater expectation. Your institutions need your expertise, your innovation, and your commitment to excellence. I urge you, therefore, to be ambassadors of good governance and to ensure that the knowledge you have acquired translates into tangible improvements in the public. Once again, I extend my profound appreciation to the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation, and most especially to the chairman and the executive vice chairman, who I consider as my very own siblings, and all the partners who have made this program a success. I must not fail to acknowledge and to appreciate my own teacher, the very erudite personality, His Excellency Professor Yemi Oshibajo, former Vice President of the Your Excellency, we're always delighted to see you and to benefit from your words of wisdom. I'd like to say that more than anybody in this room, I have had that privilege. And so I thank you. And on this note, I'd also like to appreciate the Blavatnik School of Government, Oxford University, especially Professor Emily Jones and her team, and all whom have made this occasion a success. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Please, another round of applause for our head of the Civil Service of Federation of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson-Jack, who is such a... One thing that she has not let you on. Somebody was asking me back there that how many more cats do I have to let out of the bag? You know, our head of service, she's a very digital head of service. One of the things that she did when she assumed office was setting up what you call war rooms to accelerate the gains of the FC program. And those war rooms have been warring with the service, all right? Another round of applause for our head of service, please. All right, so we are gradually winding down to this segment of the event, and I would like to call on our Executive Vice Chair to take the closing remarks. And therefore, I would like to invite Mrs. Ofowe Aig-Imoukhuede, the Executive Vice Chairperson of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation, for the closing remarks. Please, another round of applause as she makes her way right here.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly observed. So it's my honor to stand here to close out the official part of today's ceremonies, because I know there's a party afterwards. Congratulations again to cohort 4, and congratulations to the winning Capstone project and the top 3 in general. You have all done amazing work. Your projects are phenomenal. You should be proud of yourself for juggling your work, your projects, and your studies. Give yourself a big round of applause. So as you transition into the Foundation's Alumni Network, you have heard all of the resources that are available to you, upskilling, training, networking, but you also become automatically eligible, as long as you fall within the age band, to apply for the AIG MPP scholarships, which involves 1 year at the University of Oxford. So those of you who are interested, please begin to think about that very carefully. So I would like to extend my appreciation to everyone who has made this entire program possible. the team from the University of Oxford, the SG, Professor Emily Jones, the TAs, and especially Professor Capstone, who is not here with us. He helped us to actually create this program, and we hold him very dear to our heart. I know that he has connections to Nigeria, so we hope that we will see him over the course of the years here in Abuja. But for this closing ceremony, I want to say a very big thank you to His Excellency, Professor Yemi Oshibanjo. We really appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much, not only for welcoming our first cohort with open arms, but for keeping abreast of everything that we continue to do at the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation. We hope that we can continue to count on you, to call on you, to be a mentor to these very able public servants who require constantly to hear your wise words. They need reinforcement because it's difficult out there, right? And to our able head of service, thank you very much, Ma, for spending time with them earlier in the program and for coming back to commend them. We appreciate your focus on building the capacity of the public servant. I know we are partners in your Lead P project. And we say here today that we welcome you using some of the ideas that have come from this program. Only collectively can we address the issues, burning issues. It needs partnerships. So I would like to thank all our Leadership Council members who are here today and our panel of judges, especially you, sir, from the OPTS. We really appreciate you bringing your expertise and sharing it with our class. I would like to thank the members of the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation team who have worked so tirelessly to put this together. I appreciate you. I know it is not easy, but congratulations, another year is done. As we close this program, I would like to inform you that we have opened applications for cohort 5. So please share the news amongst your colleagues, your friends who you know are in the public sector. Very interesting, I have a graduating cohort member whose wife is also in the public sector, and he is encouraging her to apply. So perhaps we will have our first husband and wife alumni team. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all once again. Thank you for those who have come from near and far. We appreciate you. We ask that you keep abreast of our news through our social media pages and through our website by clicking on our newsletters that I know come into your mailbox every month. Oh, permanent secretaries here present. Please forgive me for not thanking you. You know that we are part of you. We appreciate the hard work and dedication that you're bringing to the public sector. More power to you all. Thank you very much, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much, our very dear Executive Vice Chair, for those closing remarks. So right now we have come to the tail end of this event, but I would like to invite all our dignitaries to the stage so that we can have the group photographs, because that's what I actually have here. We did. Oh, on the red cup, can I have... And then for our media team, you can actually have your media interviews there. For us, the alumni, now the party gets started, right? Because we're all alumni now. CCs 1, 2, 3, 4, we're just PLPs. The party now gets started. So we'll be ushered to the cocktail points, right? So can we have ushers usher the alumni, the PLP alumni, to the cocktail point? We want to start our own program right away. Okay?